Hi, I'm Joel Persinger. Thank you very much for all of your support of GunGuyTV. I pulled over on the side of the road so I don't have an accident while I tell you this. I wanted to give you some encouragement. I wanted to tell you that we're winning, because we are. People say we're not. I get it, but I'm going to talk about that briefly and help you understand that we are winning, and that I encourage you to stay in the fight for our rights under the Bill of Rights and for all of our rights under the Constitution, and for the United States Constitution and for our country, because we are in a fight for the very heart and soul of our country right now. In many, many areas, my focus obviously is the tip of the spear, which is the Second Amendment. So a couple of things. I'll say that we're winning, and people will type in the comments. Some of them are very excited to hear that, and some of them will type in the comments, oh no, we're not, and they'll go through this sort of Eeyore, my tail is falling off again, the sky is falling, Chicken Little thing that they like to go through. So let me address that real quick. When I tell you that we're winning, it's not just to pump you up. I'm not trying to be a cheerleader, although I hope it does have that effect to a degree. I'm telling you that we're winning because I have close, intimate knowledge of the fight by virtue of the folks that come on my show and friends I've made along the way. Does that mean that we're winning the battle immediately? No. Does that mean that we're going to get our rights back, for example, in the state of California sometime this afternoon or tomorrow? No, it doesn't. We didn't lose them overnight. We're not going to get them back overnight. Does that mean we might not have our rights fully restored in my lifetime? Yeah, I'm a senior citizen. That could be very well the case. And I've had people say to me, I'm not going to bother fighting because I'll never get restored in my lifetime anyway, so what does it matter? Well, I have a problem with that, because that's really just not, it doesn't line up with the American spirit. We've had people fight in world wars and other wars. My dad was, a Korean War era veteran, and so you have these folks who fought and died in many wars, and knowing full well that they might not live to reap the benefit of what they were fighting for. And I think when we're unwilling to do that, we dishonor those folks. So I don't want to pick on people or insult you, but I do think that requires an attitude adjustment on our part. We get to fight for the rights of our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. I'm a grandfather. I want my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren yet unborn and that kind of stuff to enjoy the rights that our founding fathers established in this country. Whether I get to enjoy them before I die in their fullest or not is not as big an issue to me. It's important, but it's not the be-all and end-all issue, and it shouldn't be for any of us. We should be in the fight. Now, as far as me telling you that we are winning, am I telling you the truth? Yeah, I am. So keep in mind that I don't have an axe to grind that would require me to lie to you. I'm telling you the truth, and here's a way that you know that I am. I don't make my living on social media. I'm not making my living on YouTube or Rumble or Instagram or anything else. And I'm not trying to. GunGuyTV does sort of get close to paying for itself, but not really. It costs me more money to do what I'm doing than I make. I make my living elsewhere. I don't make it doing this. If I wanted to make money doing this, then I would be doing shorter videos, because people don't like long videos. I would do them shorter, and I would make them very hyperbolic, so it would get you stirred up emotionally, and you would share the videos, and I'd get many, many tens of thousands more views than I get on the videos I produce now, and I'd have hundreds of thousands of more subscribers. There are other channels that started about the same time that mine did, and because they do that, have many more subscribers, hundreds of thousands of more subscribers than I do, because their goal is to add up subscribers and get lots of views so that they can make a living. I get it. That's not my goal. My goal is to win the fight, and so I'm here to try to present you with actionable, detailed information that you can use to fight for your rights and mine. And that means, one, I'm not the first person out of the gate sometimes to talk about an issue or to tell you the news about something. Why? Because I may not know what I'm talking about. So it takes time for me to get a Chuck Michelle or a Mark Oliva from NSSF, or a Sam Paredes from Gun Owners of California, or a Rick Travis from CRPA, or an Eric Pratt, or Ben Sanderson from Gun Owners of America. Those folks are busy, and it takes time for me to arrange a schedule to get them on so they can tell us the truth about what's happening, and they can give you information you can actually use for the fight that's real truthful information without the hyperbole. It doesn't get you stirred up emotionally, but what it does do is arm you for the fight for your rights. So I'm not going to be the quickest. I never am. And that's just the way it is. It's just the nature of the beast. If I want to be accurate, it takes longer. The other thing is that if I want to give you detailed information, the videos are longer. A lot of folks don't want to watch long videos. As evidence of that, I've been screwing around with YouTube Shorts. Do you know I can put a YouTube Short out there and like within 20 minutes it's got a couple of thousand views? And it can be about nothing. It can just be me shooting. That's it. But everybody wants to see those because they can scroll through them on their phone really fast. I get it. They're entertaining. But if it takes longer than 5 minutes, people don't want to sit through it. Well, if you want your rights back, you're going to have to sit through interviews and through detailed videos that are longer than 5 minutes. They might be 30 minutes. Sometimes they might be 40 minutes. Sometimes they might be 15. Okay, get over it. It's part of the fight. If you want the information, you have to be willing to absorb the information. Either read articles about it, which nobody wants to do, or sit through a longer video on it if you don't want to read. That's what I'm trying to do for you. That's why my channel has 200 and some odd thousand subscribers instead of 500,000 or 700,000, because my videos are too long for 700,000 subscribers, and it takes me too long to get the information to you because I don't just come on and spout my opinion and stir up your emotions. That's okay. I don't care. What I care about is, am I giving you real actionable information? And as a result, I don't make money on YouTube. And since I'm not making money on YouTube and I'm not doing the things necessary to make money on YouTube, when I tell you we're winning, you can understand that I don't have an axe to grind. There's no reason for me to tell you a lie. If I wanted to tell you anything that would raise money for me, I would tell you we were losing and your rights were being taken away, and it would stir up all kinds of views and get you pissed off, and you'd share the videos everywhere and I'd be rolling in the dough. That's not what I'm trying to do, okay? So understand, we are winning the battle. And we're winning the battle for a few reasons, not least of which is the fact that Donald J. Trump appointed 300 and some odd federal judges to the bench who were conservative, constitutional conservative justices to the federal bench. Among those were Supreme Court justices, and among those were a lot of justices in circuit courts. For example, the Ninth Circuit is no longer the 99th. It's roughly a 50-50 court. So although people think we'll lose there all the time, we won't, because it's a 50-50 court. The other thing is, the Bruen decision changed all of the rules on how Second Amendment cases are settled. It is no longer a simple matter for judges who want to destroy our rights to put their thumb on the scales and make the decision come out whatever way they want, because the Supreme Court changed the rules. They can't do it anymore. If they do it, they're going to be overturned. And there's no question about that. So activist judges may do that. If they do, they're going to get overturned, because the next judge is going to look at that and go, no, I'm sorry, you can't do that anymore. That reasoning is no longer applicable to the Second Amendment. You have to look at the text, the history, and the tradition. And that just squares away everything. So I urge you to hang in there. This is going to take time. It's going to be a series of small victories which will add up to total victory at some point. But we should celebrate each and every victory every time we have one. So with the Polymer 80 decision against the Biden administration and the ATF that just happened last week, we should be over the moon about that, even though it's just a preliminary injunction. With the decision against the California handgun roster, we should be over the moon about that, even though it's just a preliminary injunction. In both cases, they're going to appeal them. Okay, the fight continues. It's going to be a long fight. But the Second Amendment has something it hasn't had for a very long time. And we can thank Donald J. Trump. I'm not saying he's the best person in the world, but he did this. We got to give him credit for this, okay, among other things. He put a lot of conservative justices on the bench. And among those were Supreme Court justices who changed the rules by giving the Second Amendment back its very sharp, very long, very devastating teeth. And attorneys like Chuck Michel at Michel & Associates and CRPA are taking advantage of those teeth. And we're winning. So I'm going to tell you again. Now you know why you can believe me. we're winning. We're not winning fast. It's going to take time. But we are winning. And that, my friend, you can take to the bank.